Hi everyone, welcome back. If you've been with me for a while, I am doing tarot lessons, and this is the second half of the Major Arcana. I have put out a couple of videos before this. I put out an intro to my tarot lessons, the zodiac and elements, and how they equate to tarot, and then the first half of the Major Arcana. So if you haven't checked out any of those videos, please go below to where all my videos are and check out those videos first. If you have and you're coming back, this is the fourth video in my segment, and it's the last half. Like I said, it's the last half of the Major Arcana, and I want you to take a moment, pause the video, and go get your deck and take out Justice through the World. Make sure they are in order out in front of you so that we can go over them together. All right. Hopefully you have them, you pause the video and you have them out now, because I'm going to continue talking. Alrighty. So, like I said in the last video, the Major Arcana is the major energy that is lent to a situation, or the major force behind a certain situation. All right. So, we're going to talk about justice here. So what type of energy does justice lend to a situation? Well, justice is all about fairness and balance. So, it depends on where it's at in the spread and what other cards are around it, what other energies are around it. But it might be saying that you need to have fairness and justice. You need to look at this with a fair situation, weigh your pros and your cons. It could say that some karmic justice is being played out right now. It could also mean legal matters, like if you're asking about court situations or court documents. It can also mean Hierophant's more towards institution and higher learning. So this is like crime and punishment, maybe. Anything that goes along with legalities, contracts is another thing that goes with it. But that's the major energy that it's lending to it. Fairness and balance, needing to weigh the pros and the cons. This goes along with Libra. This is the Libra card. So that's good to keep in mind. Some of these, you can look at and you can see the zodiac right away. So it's really lending that Librarian energy to your reading. And depending where it falls in your spread, but that's the energy that comes out of that card. Okay? So let's take a look at the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man. There's many interpretations for this, like some saying lying in wait. That is a scorpionic energy, and this is a scorpionic. This is the card for Scorpio. Okay, so there is a lot of scorpionic energy going right there, lying in wait. But Scorpios also look at things through different perceptions. Like they look at all angles. So this is lending the energy that you might have to see things from either a different perspective or a higher perspective. You have to look at the whole situation instead of focusing on just one thing. And that's the energy that's being lent or being advised for you to do. And it depends on where it comes out in your spread as well. All right, so now we're going to move on to death. There's many interpretations of death, and if you saw my intro to tarot, I showed how depending on what tarot deck you have, death can mean many different things. Death is just the core meaning. It doesn't mean actual death. It just means change. Change is about to happen, or change is on its way. This is also like a good sign if it comes out with the Magician card. This and the Magician card together can be a very good a very good combo. But that's going to be for my combos video. But anyways, so death is all about change, rebirth, putting to rest an old idea so that a new idea can form, kicking out the old, bringing in the new, changing from one situation to the next. Sometimes it's changing from a good situation to a bad situation, or a bad situation to a good situation, depending on where it falls in the reading. But if you look at the card, you can really find different symbolisms, and where it's at in your spreads can tell you, you can get, your intuitive things going. This is about change. This is about rebirth. And then you see like how it affects the other energies, and then you can read it to the person. All right. So the next one we have is Temperance. Temperance is the card of Sagittarius. So this is all about, like being patient. Sagittarius is an archer. And so, he waits, he pulls back his bow and he waits, expands his bow, and he waits for the right opportunity to let that arrow go. All right. So this is about having patience. Sorry. Okay, so this is about having patience, waiting for the right opportunity to come along, waiting for the right time. This is, I equate this a lot with divine timing. I equate it a lot with divine timing because Sagittarius is awesome when it comes to divine timing because they're patient and because they know things are going to work out for them because luck is on their side. So that's the type of energy that is delivered into Temperance, and where she is at in the spread, it can be seen as good or negative. You just have to see what other energies are around it, okay? And how they mix. All right. So then we're going to move on. I want everybody to look at the Devil card. Okay? All right, the Devil card. This is Capricorn. So this is Capricorn's very reserved, very strict, very in control of themselves and their situation. So with that in mind, when it comes to the Devil card, it could mean that something is controlling you, something is in control of you. It could be a habit, it could be a person, but it's some type of energy that's got you shackled and chained to a certain situation. So this is more of like a restriction. It's something that's restricting you from moving forward and going on. Okay? Something that's traditional, not wanting to break tradition is another thing or another energy you can pull off of that as well. It can also mean good things depending on what it's surrounded by. Okay? It can, I have seen it in some spreads where it has meant something good, even though it says Devil on it. So yeah, just know that. All right, so now we're moving on to the Star. Everybody take a look at your Star card. All right, this is the Aquarian energy. All right, now what energy this leads to is to rebellious. It's the energy that's coming out for the Aquarius, rebellious, knowledgeable, wanting to spread knowledge, wanting to spread your blessings, wanting to spread your blessings. The Star is about your blessings coming in for you because you have shared yourself with other people, or you have done something like karmic. You have done some good, and now this is your blessing coming back to you. That's That's the energy I pull off the Star card. It's like I've done something good for somebody, and now I'm getting blessings in return. Or I've put in the hard work, so now I'm getting my blessings in return. All right? All right, so now we're moving on to the Tower. Dun, dun, dun! Everybody hates this card. A lot of people hate this card because this usually means the breakdown of a structure. And it's like that force that comes in and breaks down your happy home or breaks down what you thought you were content with and just puts something in the mix so then that way it all crumbles. But the reason why it does that is because change needs to come in because you need to rebuild. So, Tower card. It can mean something good. It doesn't always have to be something bad. It can be like the breakdown of a bad situation, depending on where it falls in the spread. It can be the breakdown of a bad situation finally like breaking down and going away. So it can mean goodness. All right, so moving on, we've got the moon, and the moon is related to Pisces because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is the deceiver. So Neptune is all about things that are hidden, about hiding things, and that's what Pisces, that's the negative side of Pisces, but Pisces is also very intuitive, very psychic. So this card means pulling in on your intuition, finding that hidden truth about you, finding that hidden truth about somebody else, something coming to the light, or something that is hidden that needs to come to light. This just means that there's some type of energy there that's hiding that needs to come out, basically. All right, so moving on to the sun. Now, the sun is different. The sun is like everything is out in the open. Everything is positive. There's nothing hidden here. Everything is good. Okay? I have seen this go negative. I have in a couple of spreads that I've done. But it's very hard for this to go negative. This is the card that, I also associate it with Leo, but it's not Leo's card. But it's like got high optimism, high power. Some people equate it as readers to Gemini as well because of the twins. It's about, the young, childish, creative, imaginative energy, like where anything is possible. That's what the energy from that card lends to readings. That's what that card means. Okay, so then we're going to move on to Judgment. Judgment. See the wings? This is very much a divine card. Divine timing, divine calling, an opportunity that is about to come in that you need to be aware of. This is like a calling from source or a calling from the divine or calling from God. Your divine purpose is another thing that I equate with this. This is an opportunity that is either coming in or it's a missed opportunity depending on where it is in the spread. So this is like opportunity. Opportunity, your divine reason, your reason for being here, a divine calling. Being guided is another thing I get off of this. Being guided. Being guided and led by the divine. Okay. Last card in the Major Arcana is the World. And this is pretty adequate because if you go back to the beginning of the Major Arcana, it's the Fool. jumping into something full-heartedly, right? And then you go through all these like little speed bumps through the Major Arcana. And then at the end, once you realize your divine calling, you get this. You get the world. You get the world. You get a new chapter, a new start. Everything that you could imagine that could happen to you will happen to you. Like, it's like your whole next new phase of life happening. Like, you are rewriting a brand new chapter in your book where anything is possible. Okay? So that's what this is. And depending on where it is at in the spread, it can be a good or it can be a negative thing as well. But that's basically what that is. Okay. So homework. Again, last night you probably did the zodiac or the other one, but this is, I want you to take 3 of the zodiac things again, and I want you to meditate on them. I want you to meditate on them. So take 3 for 5 minutes, 5 minutes each. Meditate on them. Really stare at the card. Feel what the card means to you. It wouldn't hurt to write down your feelings of the card as well. That way, like when you write it down, it's kind of like you can think about it and you can meditate on it, but then when you write it down, it makes it more solid in your brain. So, meditate on these cards, write down what these cards mean, and then the next day, pick the next 3. And meditate 5 minutes on each. Really look at the card and feel the card and see what it means to you, and then write it down, okay? Don't worry about the other ones. The other ones you can do in your spare time. I just want you to get the zodiac ones down because that'll really, really, really help you connect with the energies in the Major Arcana. And you'll notice the more and more you practice, because practice makes perfect, the more and more you practice doing your spreads and playing with your cards, you're going to be dreaming about them. And sometimes you'll have dreams with the meanings, what they mean to you. And when you wake up in the morning, those are the perfect times to write down the meaning of the card. Like when I first started, I had dreams about the moon card all the time. All the time. So I would write down, and then there were different dreams where the moon meant something different, but I'd always write it down. Every time I dreamt about it, I would write it down, what that card meant to me. I used to dream of the Hierophant a lot, and the Pip card, the 2 of Pentacles. I used to dream about that all the time too. But it's weird because like when you start learning how to use these cards, it's like your guides will talk to you in your dreams using tarot cards to get you to practice the tarot card. So, and it'll mean something for you in real life, which is pretty wild. But all right, so well, I hope that helped you. And like I said, I'm going to put keynotes in the description, also the homework. Okay. This will conclude the segment on the Major Arcana. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. If you want me to go in depth with your question in a video for Tarot Talk, which is tomorrow, I'm going to make the video tomorrow, and I'm going to upload it tomorrow, so that way I can answer your questions. Just email me. Email me the questions that you want me to talk about in the video. All right? Well, I hope that helped you, and bye. I'll see you tomorrow.